We are rolling. Welcome back to episode 2 to Our Renaissance. My name is Ken Munoz, the host of this podcast, and it's just a podcast where we are talking about our passions of faith, fitness, and filmmaking. And today we are going to be talking about the morals of an ascender and what an ascender is and who we are and what we stand for and our big why of what we do. But first, why cocoa crack? Gotta get right. Best coconut water on island. In the world, actually. Really? Oh, it's creamy. It's delicious. It's refreshing. No caffeine. Electrolytes. Come on now. Oh my gosh. I still have my cowboy hat on. Hold on. Okay. No more cowboy hat. Going more, baby. Oh, they're dropping a black BPN hat tomorrow. A black Go One More hat, and it looks sexy. It's probably one of the best looking hats I've ever seen in my life, and I'm so excited, and I'm ready. 10 a.m. Central Time. By the time you see this, it's probably going to be sold out, but I am very excited, and I'm a proud, loyal fan of BPN and Nick Bear and Luke Hopkins and all those athletes, because what they're building is unlike no other. It's genuinely a community of top of the top athletes who know how to do what they do best, and that's endurance sports, and that's going one more. Anyways, back to morals of an ascender. Also, I hope you really like this upwards angle. I don't know. I'm a filmmaker. Kind of like it. It's like you guys have more power. I don't know. Don't think too deeply about it. It's just wanted to try something new, if I'm being honest. But a definition of what an ascender is not just a singular person. That's the best way to describe it. It's a community that joins all together and rises and ascends together. And when it comes to an ascender, it's like you don't just sign up, you don't fill out a Google form, you don't just click the link in my bio, you don't just sub to this YouTube channel. It's like you genuinely have to have these morals and this genuine moral compass in order to be one. And it's not something you put on your resume, or you don't claim hey, I'm an ascender. It's just knowing inside that you're a part of this community and that you follow these certain... It's like how the Bible has the 10 commandments. We don't have the 10 commandments of what an ascender is, but we do believe in certain morals. It all started when I went to school in Hawaii in 2022 of fall. And I was a kinesiology major. I thought I wanted to be a physical therapist. I thought I wanted to help people through being a doctor. And I've always wanted to help people. And that's always been a part of my, because of the way my parents raised me in the church, it was almost like a golden rule: treat others the way you wanted to be treated. And so growing up, I always did that. It was point blank. If someone needed help, I was there. But again, back to school, I was just putting so many hours into studying the anatomy. I was taking a bunch of extra credits because I thought it'd make my life easier in the future to get all these credits done as a freshman. But then turns out, okay, sure, I was passing and getting solid grades for my major, but then I wanted to just pursue videography, and that's all I'll do on my free time. I hit up One Moment Hawaii, a wedding video production company, and they let this, I don't know, 18-year-old, 19-year-old on their team. They're a super successful company, and they just let this kid who just bought their first ever Sony's A6400, barely knew how to use it, had a gimbal, barely knew how to balance it. I didn't even know what S-Log was. I didn't know how to shoot in RAW. I didn't know what native ISO was. It was nuts. And I was getting paid a decent amount of money per hour. I was like, the most I've ever made. I'm like, okay, game on. Let's run it. But then as I started to work with them, I learned a lot of the foundation of what it's genuinely like to run a business, run a video production company, because they had these systems where it just made it easier. It made the workflow a lot easier. So that was my first taste of what it's like to be a part of something like a video production company. But again, I'm not talking any trash. It's just weddings and proposals, and it's fulfilling in its own way because we get to capture people's favorite day, like their wedding day. Like, you go to every single wedding, people are stoked, people are stressed, but there's so much emotion. And if you like that, go ahead. Like, that's the place to be. But then for me, it kind of got repetitive as weddings took over all my weekends. I didn't really have a lot of friends during that time. Even during the weekdays, I would be shooting proposals at sunset. So I had class from like 9 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. Sunsets at 5:30. All right, go home, eat really quickly. Sometimes I would skip dinner. That's why I probably lost the gains. And then I'd shoot a proposal and then head home and like did what I had to do, homework. But that was my lifestyle for a little bit. But yeah, as we went along through that journey, I realized like I genuinely want to build something else. I want to build my company. So I did a bunch of research. I started to hit up realtors. I would genuinely call 50 to 100 realtors every single day for about a week. I would email, cold call. I would try to do anything to get people's attention, and it was such a good learning lesson because I learned that you will get 99 no's and one yes, but that one yes can flip your whole world upside down with the right people, with the right opportunity. I mean, God already has our plan for us, but it's so interesting because the ratio might not make sense, but in this business of where to get better, you just need to get repetition. Even like sports, basketball, keep shooting free throws. Come on, work on your shot. Same thing when it comes to filmmaking. Every single video you post online is another rep. Every time you open up your editing software, another rep in. Every time you click record, another rep in. Come on, let's get better every single time. Let's try something new every single day. And anyways, back to the realtors, I started getting some traction. I started shooting concerts. I started shooting the Ritz-Carlton in Honolulu. Like the biggest penthouse you could ever dream of. And I was filming in there within the first 6 months, 3 months of being a real estate videographer, whatever that meant to me, whatever the title. I didn't really have that title. I didn't earn that title. I just put in the reps and luckily got the right connections. But as we were building this portfolio, I was like talking to Sandra, I'm like, it would be really cool. And like, I see the potential of like running our business like side by side. And so again, the idea wasn't like, we didn't like jump on it quickly. We were just kind of like, let's focus on ourselves, keep growing our like, I guess, personal work, personal clients, and then we'll reconvene. But then the first quarter of 2024, last year, we opened up Ascender Production LLC. That's pretty much the fast version of it. So 2 years later, we opened up Ascender Production LLC, and that's where the Ascender name came from. Me and Sanjay would walk the streets of my neighborhood for hours. We would walk miles on miles on miles to like just let out ideas. All right, we would be looking up different definitions, different words that like spoke to us. Be like, all right, heavenly. Does that ring a bell? Okay, actually, heavenly was our first ever business name, but then it was actually taken in California. So we had to come up with a new name, and that's when I don't know who came up with it. I think it might have been Sanjay. I'll give him props to that. Who came up with Ascender? It was a team effort, but I'm pretty sure he's the one that said Ascender. And it took a minute because Ascender's not really a word in the dictionary. Ascend is, but being an ascender isn't, which is pretty cool. It's like we could have our own dictionary with our words. Anyways, that's where it all started. And yeah, we actually wrote down like a bunch of our company morals because for some reason, we both actually were part of a broadcast program that was highly prestigious, I would say, in the broadcast niche. We won multiple national awards. I was a Emmy nominee for my talent reel. Like, bro, and again, it's like you would never know unless you were really there. We won broadcast excellence awards. We competed against like the best of the best high schools in the nation at this competition called STN. And that's where I actually met a couple of my other friends. Shout out to Sarah. Sarah goes to UH with me, but we actually met through, again, I'm a name drop, but Jeremy, he's probably one of the best sports filmmaker slash editor I know. He goes to Georgia Tech, and bro, his work is just on a whole different scale. So to go check him out. But anyways, yeah, we compete in this broadcast program, and we had very strong morals. There were banners that literally said "commit to excellence," or I'm trying to forget. And like it was all about family. It was all about like stepping up and serving others. And even though we kind of have a little bit of bad blood with the program right now, unconsciously we still have those morals ingrained in us because me and Sanjay were one of the leaders that led the whole program of like 75 people to these trips, to competing. And Sanjay's girlfriend was actually my broadcast partner. We would anchored together. It was such a cool experience. Like I wouldn't trade it for anything. It taught me a lot about storytelling, if I'm being honest. And yeah, it was awesome. It really pushed me to my limits, pushed my stress level to my limits, really. But now we are here, Ascender production company. And I guess to talk about the morals of what it is, and I guess that's why you tapped in. Before I even get to the first moral, you always hear me say rise and ascend. And it's something I say at every beginning of every video and the end of every video. And that's my R, let's just say R. It's our motto. Rise and ascend actually genuinely has value right now where people will say it as like their quote of the day. People will say it and they know what it means. And it's such a cool feeling coming up with something new because you have Jesse James West where he says, stay relentless. You have all these brands like BPN, Go One More, like they're all taken. All their models, Nike, just do it. Like they're so simple, straight to the point, but you understand it. And Rise and Ascend, I'm not saying it's the same level as Nike, but we got our own thing going on, and I'm pretty happy about that. Pause, fun drink time. Anyways, Rise and Ascend, again, it's like you rise, so you're growing this foundation together as a community. So you're rising and rising, and you're building this community. You're asking other people to join, and then ascend is like where you just you go, you shoot for the moon and land on the stars. That's what ascending means. Like you push and exceed your limits, whether it's physical, whether it's your goals, whether it's anything in life, your career. Bro, that's what ascending is. And then don't forget about the rise again. It's like you do it as a group. And that's kind of what bridges my first moral, which is know when to be a trailblazer versus a team player. And that's something I'm still working on, and that's something I'm experiencing as we are building a team of ascenders for the genuine business, where it's like, all right, know when to step up, but also know when to back down, listen to your teammate and let them be the trailblazer, because as an entrepreneur, you are always trying to figure out like what's next. Like, oh, I need to stand out. I need to be a trailblazer. But then because I'm not alone in the best way possible, it's so important to hear out your teammates. So whenever Sanjay has an idea, I need to make sure like I'm all ears when he pitches me an idea. And it's important for me to also pitch my own ideas, like this podcast. Before this podcast, I called him up. I'm like, yo, like, I'm about to make a podcast episode about the morals of an ascender. And he bounced back with ideas. Like, again, I'm trailblazing this idea, but Sanjay's adding so much to this idea. It's like you're mixing and you're cooking up some, let's say some, I don't know, ground beef. I can open it, the package. I could put all the meat on the pan, but then Sanjay's like that flavor. He adds a spice. He plates it nice. So it's like without him, it's not the same. And it's like it works vice versa. Sometimes he'll make a smoothie and I'll add some collagen protein to make it that 1% better. So this is a team effort. And right now I'm talking about the business, but I'm also talking about the ascender community. Like that's how it should be. When you meet another ascender, another person in this community, you should be adding, not subtracting to their life. And that brings me to moral number 2. You can be your best. So a lot of, again, starting a business revolves a lot of inner drive. And 2 years ago, me and Sanjay we didn't know what we were doing with our cameras. We didn't know what we were doing with the business. We didn't really even have a business. We were kind of just guys with a camera. And honestly, we still are. But the difference between us guys with a camera versus another 2 guys with a camera is that we knew our potential. We knew that reality check, we're not the best right now, but then we know we can be the best. And Sanjay always says this one thing where if you're the top 1% of your field, the money will come. And that's why last year in 2024, we didn't really focus on the financial aspect of Ascender. Okay, we get it. It's important. You could build and have so much opportunity when you have all this cash flow. But we know it's just not our time yet when we don't even have the foundation set yet. And so we're focusing on our craft to be that top 1%. Because again, if you're the best of the best, how can the money not be there? And the money's there. The money's there in this film industry. And it's not like movie film industry is what I'm not talking about, to clarify. Like it's this video marketing industry when it comes to fitness and when it comes to, I guess, just video in general. There is money everywhere, and it is so cool when people make money out of their passions. I don't know, it's so cool. Imagine paying with rent with the money you made on YouTube. You uploaded a video online and you use that money to pay for where you live. Okay, I get it's probably not like a crazy concept for you, but that little idea just like whoa, you can make a living from uploading YouTube videos. And since we got monetized, pretty cool. I made less than $10, but we made a couple dollars. We could pay for probably a Chipotle meal. Only if they had Chipotle in Hawaii, then I would probably do that. But they don't, so it's okay. We gotta persevere. And back to, again, the morals. I apologize. A little bit rambly. Pause. Another fun drink sip. But yeah, we just knew how to persevere and know that we're in this process for the long run. And we had to be patient. Like, I remember color grading my first ever like raw clip and it looked so trash. Okay, anyways. Another quote that I wanted to talk about, it's not our quote, so don't copyright us, please. I don't know how that works, but I'm pretty sure Christian Guzman, CEO of Alpha Elite and Alpha Land, said this, but proud but never satisfied. You can be proud of your work. You can be proud of the things that you create. You can be proud of your hard work when it comes to a prep, when it comes to anything, but never be satisfied. You could scratch that itch, but have another itch coming after it, you know? It's interesting because we, as a creator, we upload so many videos online. We create so many videos for clients. And as we reflect, we're like, okay, I'm genuinely proud of myself. And that's a healthy thing. You should never be like, oh, that was trash, let me move on to the next project. Like, that's not a healthy mindset to be in. But when you have this proud but never satisfied mentality when it comes to anything, that means like you're putting in raw work and you are, it's like you're not half doing it, you're genuinely putting everything you got, leaving nothing on the table. So that's why you're proud. But then you also know there's like that little inch of room where you're never satisfied. I hope that kind of makes sense. Hopefully. I don't know. That was my first time kind of really explaining that. Also, I'm looking down because it's kind of awkward to look up. I promise I'm not like reading off anything. This is like how I just talk. Yeah, this is me. This is a raw Ken Munoz. And again, if you made it to this point, thank you. Comment a mango and comment. Oh, no. Comment blueberry pancake candle. Because look how sick this is. I don't know if you're just tuning in to the audio or looking at the video, but this thing is sick. And bro, I walk into my room and it smells like someone just baked a delicious stack of pancakes. And pancakes are one of my favorite foods in the world. Pause. Another fun drink sip. You guys are so annoyed of that. How do you know about this? You need to try white cocoa. Like, it's the best. It's the best. Okay, sorry. And for our last moral, I'm pretty proud of this one. I've never said this out loud, but if you truly love someone, you will bring them along. And for some reason, when I say that, I get a little teary-eyed. I get a little warm in my heart, in my stomach, little butterflies. I don't even know how to fully explain those feelings, but this feeling of genuinely loving and caring for someone, as an ascender, you will bring them along the ride, because if you fully trust the process, you're going to bring everyone who you love and you trust along with this successful community. And it feels like I have so much power when I say that because I truly believe in it. I truly believe that, I don't know, when you do this selfless action of going from stranger to being an ascender to inviting in another sender, it is a powerful invitation. I'm not saying, like, again, there's no like literal group. There's no literal group chat other than like our Discord where you're like, oh, you're invited to be an ascender. But the way you can almost like tag them along until they fully understand and grasp what an ascender is. Like, for example, Sanjay successfully flew me out from Hawaii to California in the middle of the semester about a year ago. A year and like 2 months ago, because he needs some extra help on the shoot and because he cared about me. He created this opportunity for this shoot where he needed extra help and he knew exactly where he wanted this extra help. So he reached out to me and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make time. I have school, but I'm gonna make time for you. And another example of if you truly love someone, you will bring them along is inviting my family to 75 Ascend. 75 Ascend, it's currently day one of it actually. And it's a 75-day challenge where you have to follow these like simple tasks like daily workout, daily good deed, read 10 pages of a book every day, drink a gallon of water, follow a diet, all these healthy habits. And I invited my family because, again, I genuinely love them and I want what's best for them. And I'm not saying like this is the best way. I'm just saying it's my way and it's the best I know and it's the best I can provide for others for now. And so inviting my family, I feel like it's my responsibility as a son, as a healthy son who advocates healthy living is that's my bread and butter. That's my way of showing my love. Is it acts of service? I don't know really. But yeah, and now we have my sister in the 75 Ascend group chat. We have my dad. We have my mom who isn't in the Discord, but she said she's going to attempt to do it. And attempting and starting is all you need, at least at first. But that's like the biggest step. And my mom, like, this would be really out of her comfort zone. But again, it's out of our comfort zone for a lot of us, including me. Like, I'm doing most of these during the day, but bro, drinking a gallon of water every single day, bro, that's so, it's a gallon of water. So I don't know, it's interesting. And I'm gonna give like one more example, maybe two. But another one is if you truly love someone, you will bring them along is my boy Andrew in Hawaii. Drew V Cinema, whatever you want to call him. I met him at my Century ride in like late September 2024. Literally a month before Ironman. And yeah, we clicked instantly. I pretty much, how we met really quickly is I posted on my story, hey, like I'm about to rip 100 miles on a bike around the island. Does anyone want to help film? And this guy is like, yo, I'm down. I've never met this guy in my life. But I'm like, okay, more the merrier. And I met him at mile 50 when I did a pit stop. And we clicked instantly. And ever since then, he's been pretty much a key role of Ascender and has definitely helped me in more ways that he knows. And so, yeah, he is a firm believer and follows all these morals without me having to tell him. And that's the thing. It's like, you don't really, you get to learn about these morals, I guess, through life experience, but it kind of comes naturally, is what I'm also saying. Sure, people grow up differently, people have different traumas in different ways and parenting styles that like their parents taught them, but mentally, if you know you want that switch, that's like a big factor. Like if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably already an ascender. So like, don't stress if you're like, oh no, I need to check off this box. Like, no, this is a community with lots of love, but also lots of intention and lots of grit and perseverance. So yeah, shout out to Andrew. He's been a big help with just shaping who I am as I just turned 21. Like he was there when I turned 21 till now. And even though we've known each other for less than a year, he's definitely made like a life shifting, life shifting timeline in my timeline. I don't know really how to describe it, but you understand it, hopefully. You get it. I'm gonna just say you get it because I get it. Anyways, this is pretty much what an ascender stands for. And this is what an ascender believes in, and it believes in just truly building a community without anything in return. And a lot of the morals that I stand for comes from my faith in God. And I know everyone doesn't have the same faith in God, and there are levels to it. There are people who sin more than others. However, this is how I was raised, and now it's my turn to almost bring those morals, put them, kind of implement them into business, and then also spread that message. Like, sure, like I can invite people to church, but I can also invite them to ascender and still bring them the same message. So I hopefully that works. Hopefully like that's okay. Like, I don't know. I'm still figuring out my faith, so I apologize for that. But anyways, to wrap things off with the pod. Oh, that sounds sick. With our pod. We have a pod. Anyways, it's only episode 2. I can't like get ahead of myself. We have 75 Ascend, and I was kind of talking about it earlier where my family is doing it. It's a 75-day challenge, and today's day 1. But yesterday we hosted our first ever meeting, and I got to meet some part of the people who signed up for the challenge. And this time there was a $10 buy-in, and the winners / finishers of the challenge just split the prize fund, and the prize fund is about $250. And if there's one finisher, then they get the whole $250. If there's 2, they split the $250. Anyways, it was so I felt speechless almost after the meeting, because there are so many people who are just on that same wavelength and who just want it just as bad as I do. A year ago, I felt alone in this process. A year ago, I didn't even upload a YouTube video, and it just, I don't know, a lot has changed. Again, a year ago, Ascender wasn't even a thing. So, yeah, this is just a great opportunity to meet other people who, one, want to work on themselves, but 2, also like lift other people up. Because in this Discord, people update each other throughout the day. They share their goals. They share their raw growth in this Discord. And we also host weekly calls, which is pretty cool, where we can kind of just chop it up and like be a human being. But anyways, during yesterday's meeting, I explained the rules and we went over introductions. Like everyone talked about like certain goals they want to talk about and meet. But then that took about, 20, 30 minutes. And then there's a group of us who actually stayed an extra hour. And that's what blew my mind. That's what it felt like. Oh man, like Ken, you are building something special here, and like, don't stop. I just got that message like almost like from God. Like, this was a big sign of these are good human beings in this world. And I wouldn't have met them if I didn't start this YouTube channel, if I didn't post every single time, And I'm so grateful to meet these young, ambitious, some of them are genuine kids. We have a 15-year-old in the chat who is starting 75 Ascend. And it's awesome. At 15, I think I started my first shoe painting business. I wasn't starting 75 Ascend. I wasn't trying to put myself in the world like that. I mean, I guess I started a YouTube channel, but like, this is different. And we get to meet these people around the nation. We all live in different time zones, but we all still create time to talk to each other. And that's the best. It's so cool. It's such a cool concept. And we're all updating each other with our passion works and like what projects we're working on, what kind of workouts we're doing. And it hypes me up. It fires me up to see other people who, again, want it just as bad. And again, back to that same moral of if you truly love someone, you will bring them along. This is my way of showing love. This is my way of showing love to whether it's like a follower, a random stranger. Like, I started this challenge in order to do that. And I just want the very best of everyone I meet. And that's why I try to invite everyone I knew. That's why I tried to invite my best friends. That's why my best friend Brian signed up at midnight, right before day one. He signed. We haven't talked in months, but we caught up really quickly. And I'm like, yo, I'm doing 75 Ascend. Do you want to join? Without hesitation, he's like, I'm in. Sign me up. Send me the Discord. And it was awesome. And I already know he's going to crush it, especially with the passion work. He's like the best artist I know. So if you need film photography, any graphic design, he's a guy. But yeah, like, I truly care about this guy. He's been my best friend since second grade. And it's just another way we can connect. And I know, like, I don't know, we're all going through different problems. I mean, I'm going to be straight up. I'm going to be honest right now. I'm going to be vulnerable. I told a girl, like, literally yesterday, that I don't have time right now because we are building whatever we are building right now. And it was interesting. It was, I don't know. I don't even know if I should be sharing this, but yeah, it's like we have something special, and it's scary that I'm willing to sacrifice a relationship right now over building this 75 Ascend, because I know if I had a relationship, and I've had a couple in the past where it's like, it just takes up a lot of time, and it might, unfortunately, like, it will skew this growth. And sure, like, I'm not opposed. Okay, now we're getting to relationships, but I'm not opposed to a relationship right now. But we're also in this building phase where, again, we're about to graduate. We're probably going to move out of Hawaii in like 75 days. And I don't know if it's the smartest thing to start anything right now. So with that said, I'm starting 75 Ascend. I'm starting my bodybuilding prep. I'm focusing on myself. And when the time is right, and if it's truly meant to be, it's all right. It's in God's path. And so, yeah, I guess I shared that to show where my priorities are at and how much I truly care about, I guess, myself worth, and truly care about Ascender, 75 Ascend, you guys. Because imagine me editing for 8 hours, a YouTube video for 8 hours compared to like hanging out with a girl for 8 hours. Okay, don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. I'm a college student. I'm gonna hang out with my friends, and I love quality time. That quality time is my number one love language. But a relationship, that's like a whole nother level. You know what I mean? I hope you understand like what I'm saying. And this is like kind of TMI. But again, what I said earlier, my priorities are straight, at least in my mind they are. And I'm ready to grow Ascender. I'm ready to grow Ascender production company, Ascender I'm ready to grow the value of what Rise and Ascend means, and that's just putting in the reps. And I'm ready to put in the reps for 75 days, and I'm ready to put extras reps in for others. So I think that's going to conclude this pod. But thank you guys for listening to our Renaissance, because truly it is our time to rise and ascend. I hope you and your families are safe and healthy. I had the flu 2 weeks ago, so fingers crossed, knock on wood, that you don't catch it. And if you do, try to eat, because I lost 7 pounds. Okay, anyways, that irrelevant. But yeah, God bless. And God is so good. He has your back. And when in doubt, if you want to learn more about who He is and what they stand for, just open up the Bible. It's intimidating. It is scary even for me at first, but that's one of the best things I could advise you to. So again, take care, rise and ascend, and God bless. Shoots.